ready.
Hi, I'm Leisha, Tobacco Treatment Specialist at Hope Cancer Resources, and today for Wellness Wednesday, wanted to talk about secondhand smoke and what it is, health effects, and how you can avoid that exposure for you and your family. So secondhand smoke is any smoke from a burning tobacco product. So this could be from pipes, cigars, cigarettes, anything like that. Also, if you are around someone who has a cigarette that is lit or something like that, so the smoke coming off of that would be considered secondhand smoke, and anything that a person is exhaling, that is also going to be secondhand smoke. Just kind of as an FYI, there are some things coming out around electronic cigarettes and vaping. There are chemicals that are in that cloud, so I'm not going to go too much into that, but just be aware that you're also getting that exposure if you're around someone who vapes or uses an electronic cigarette. In tobacco smoke, so anything from the burning tobacco, we know there are about 7,000 chemicals, and about 70 of those are known to cause cancer. So that's something just to be aware of and know that exposure is there if you are around that. So talking about health effects, number one, in children, there are a lot of major health effects for them that may happen when they're young or continue on through, as they're older adults. But ear infections are very common in children if they're exposed to secondhand smoke on a regular basis. Respiratory symptoms, so that could be, coughing often, things like that. Respiratory infections, pneumonia, bronchitis, just having that chronic infection happening over and over again. Also asthma, so having more often having asthma attacks or issues with that, so that can happen very commonly for children that are exposed to secondhand smoke. In adults, then the major one is heart disease. So secondhand smoke can cause heart disease because it affects your heart and your blood vessels. So the thing that kind of blew my mind was they had a study from 2005 to 2009. There were 34,000 deaths each year throughout those years with adults that were non-smokers that died from heart disease related to secondhand smoke. So that's huge. In my mind, that's huge. So it is dangerous. And then stroke can be another health effect with secondhand smoke, and also lung cancer. Like that's kind of the obvious one, but lung cancer, there was, during that study between 2005 to 2009, 7,300 lung cancer deaths in non-smoking adults, and this is in the US, that was related to secondhand smoke. So definitely makes a big impact and kind of makes more sense of why there's been a lot of changes in laws around smoking in public and making parks and different places like that smoke-free. So some things that you can do: obviously don't smoke. If you smoke, try to quit and work on that. Avoid being around people that are smoking if at all possible. Not letting anyone smoke in your house or in your vehicle, even if the windows are down, not letting that happen if someone does smoke. Making sure your children's daycare or schools are tobacco free, and just kind of working with lawmakers to help those things happen. Obviously, avoiding any indoor situations where people are smoking, if that's in a personal home or maybe in a bar or something like that. Just trying to avoid those places. And this should, that will help just avoid that exposure for you, for your family, your kids, and keep you healthy, hopefully on into the future.